The Return to the Hollow, Part 1. Focused question. How does the point of view affect a story? Words to know. Coincident. Cruel. Devastating. Disturbances. Elaborate. Geologic. Hilarious. Hoax. Horrific. Relocate. Resolve. Streamtress. We're in the cafeteria, hanging orange and black streamers on the tables. The librarian at the public library knows Principal Taylor and told him about our unauthorized trip into the Arctic. Helping decorate for tomorrow's Halloween party is our punishment. The journal we found in my dad's office belonged to my mom, Sarah whispered. What made you say that? I asked, carefully stretching the paper and taping it into the table. I examined it carefully, and the handwriting looked similar to a letter she wrote me a long time ago, and her name is written inside the cover. Great detective work, Sherlock, I laughed. Well, I've been reading a book from the library, and it's missing page. The pages that might give us some useful information, of course. Ladies, there isn't social hours, Principal Taylor says. We have plenty of streamers. Why don't you help Mr. Showmaker with the skeletons? Later that night, Sarah walks on her costume in my room. I sit on the bed. The door we sneak out of the library and Sarah's mom's journal open in front of me. The loose pages in your mom's notebook are the missing pages from the book, I say. That's why I brought it over, Sarah mumbled around the pins in her mouth. She trying to sew stripes of shimmering fabric to her fairy wings. I should have had Aunt Tara to do this. She's much better dreamsets than I'll ever be. Your mom's talked about finding the same book we found at the library. She was doing some sort of research on strange occurrences around town with her sister. I knew your Aunt Tara was hiding something. Does it say why she was researching? Sarah asked. No, not that I can tell. It seemed to be a collection of research notes. I says, keep moving forward, make sure everything is in its place. Over and over. I read that, Sarah says. It was strange reading her writing. I can't really remember her voice, so I just kept wondering what it would sound like if she were saying those things. I don't know what to say, so I keep flipping through that page. She does note an old lantern that hung over Porter's mill front door and how John Porter's wife was a seamstress. I unfold the large yellowing pages that had been stuffed in the journal. The pages she stole out of the book tell about some sort of a geologic event that changed the path of a river. Your mom had a note in her journal that says no recorded geologic disturbances in area. I read from the geologic pages the mill has to come down, and while they were making plans to relocate it, John Porter's wife passed away. Sarah sets her costume aside and joins me on the bed. That's terrible, she said. John Porter and their adopted children were dissuaded. Plans to recollect the mill were cancelled, and not long after they started appearing in town. Others went to the forest to seek them but couldn't find the mill, supposedly becoming lost in a maze of forest paths. This is sounding more and more like some spooky story, Sarah whispered. Totally, I said as I unfolded another page torn from the book. Look at this, though. It's a map, Sarah exclaimed. An old map of the hollow and the town of Porter's Mill. The river doesn't run in its usual path around the wood. It runs right through the middle. Your mom circled this map. I point to a spot close to the top of the map. It's faded, but it looks like it says Porter Mill. I suddenly get the chills. But then I stop myself. Things are lining up a bit too well for me to accept coincidence as an excuse. I think about Halloween night last year, meeting that strange boy in the hollow and being chased by those laughing voices. The whole thing seemed like a big hoax, and it was completely possible that the kid and his friend were just playing elaborate jokes all along. Sarah or I had seen a young boy at the Cave of the Lost and by the lake when we were camping. That could have easily been the one who pulled out the pranks and framed Rob Turtle, and they could have been in the library that day we found the stone. We took the bait, hook, line, and sinker. I looked at Sarah's face, which is filled with fright and more than a little sadness. From the inside, the joke seemed incredibly cruel. So from the outside, our reaction probably seemed hilarious. All this could just be a horrific joke by some nasty kids, I say, trying to sound comforting. Sarah shook her head. You might be right, but even if it's a joke, it led me to Mom's journal. It's a piece of her I knew about. I need to know more. I need to know why she went into a hollow, and I have to try to find out why she never came out. I've never seen Sarah with this kind of resolve. She seems stronger, and I suddenly feel proud of her. Let's go talk to Aunt Tara, she says. These are not good questions for children, Aunt Tara says when Sarah shows her journal. Give that back and let's work on your costume. No, Aunt Tara. I'm sorry, but I need to know what happened with Mom. Sarah's voice is calm and direct. The journal is just random notes, and we don't know how they all go together. Please, what happened? A shadow of emotion passed over Aunt Tara's face. I don't think she ever really expected Sarah to ask these questions. She sighed and says, Sit with me, children. Your mother, she says to Sarah, was the best friend of Prince Uncle Jasper. He was quite the young explorer, and he stayed with us in our village in Nepal. He helped our family come to the United States years ago. Jasper even introduced your mother and father. I never knew any of that, Sarah said. When Jasper disappeared, Anna was devastated. Aunt Tara continued. She was determined to find him. He was also my friend, so I helped however I could. One day, Anna asked me to watch you. Sarah watched you, Sarah, and didn't come back for a long time. Too long. Your father and I were very worried. She came back with a key, scissors, and lantern. She said they had belonged to John Porter and his wife. Anna showed me a map, an old map, and said she could find Porter's mill, and she said this was where Jasper had disappeared. Why? What was at Porter's mill? I asked. I don't know. A venture, I suppose. Aunt Tara whispered. All I know is Anna took those things with her and disappeared herself. Now you have found them, and I think someone is playing a mean joke. That's why I took them away. I don't want you to be hurt. Aunt Tara stand up with her eyes and smile at us. That's all I know. No more secrets. I'll go make you girls holiday cookies in pumpkin shapes. You like that? No, she lied without waiting for our response. We listened to Aunt Tara moving around in the kitchen for a few minutes. Suddenly, Sarah looked straight at me and says, Well, that settles. Settles what? We have to go in the hollow tomorrow night and find Porter's mill. To be continued. Glossary. Coincidence. A situation in which similar or related things happen at the same time by accidents. Cruel. Mean or unkind, causing suffering or pain. Devastate. Cause great emotional pain. Disturbance. Acts or events that bother, interrupt, or something, or stop something. Elaborate. Having many parts and details, complicated. Geologic. Of or having to do with land, rocks, soil, layers, or minerals. Hilarious. Extremely funny. Hoax. Something meant to mislead or trick. Horrific. Causing intense fear. Shocking. Regulate. To move from one place to another. Resolve. The commitment or drive to work toward a difficult goal. Determination. Seamstress. A woman who sews as a profession.